at right now, even though their numbers either slightly dip or stay the same, they add those little small things to become a better player? Like, what are some of the things that you want to add to your game to become a better player, even though it might seem like your numbers stay the same?
Good question. I don't. It's a little bit too soon for me to pinpoint 100% and no, but just like off the top of my head, you can always be more efficient, always. So I'll work on efficiency in every area. You can always be better defensively, on and off the ball, and then just continuing to make sure my game doesn't like hinder people around me and hinder the development of my teammates, which is just as important as my development.
Hindering the development of your teammates, like, especially in late game situations, a lot of players are different. Where you have LeBron makes the next player, Kobe takes a lot of shots. How did you come to the decision to be the guy that you are? I think you've been pretty open about being a Kobe guy, and it's kind of opposite of how he plays. Like, how did you come to the decision to be, I'm going to be lean more towards the way LeBron plays? Not saying that. Yeah, that's
I guess it's just the way I was taught to play. You make the right play. You like try to keep the defense on their toes with that. But that's another battle that you all go through as a great player and as a closer. He should have passed it. He should have shot it. If you pass it and it goes in, great pass. If you make it and you miss, terrible shot, and vice versa. It's give or take, you know. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to just trusting your work and trusting your decision making, and living with the results. And then people are going to have their opinions on your decision, but it shouldn't affect your decision as long as you're confident in it and you ride with it. You'll be all right.
Shay, you talked about sort of like the dreams and aspirations of being in some of these spots in the playoffs. As every kid who picks up a basketball wants to be sort of in your spot, all-star teams, all-NBA teams, top 5 NBA MVP finishes. At what point did that feel like tangible for you? Not just like making the NBA, but like being one of the 5 best players in the entire world?
Yeah. Sometimes I sit back and it's surreal. Just like where I was a decade ago, to think that I'm here now is a crazy feeling. Like, you're always taught to like dream big, believe in yourself. But like growing up, I was very a little delusional, many would say, and like, I guess I probably sounded crazy back then. It sounded a little bit too confident. But I always had a feeling that I would get here. I just always knew like I could control my destiny and where I end up to a certain degree. I knew how hard I worked. Like, I knew how bad I wanted it. And I was willing to do whatever it took to get here. And I don't think it's like coincidence that I'm here. I think I earned it, and it's for a good reason.
And then you have the Olympics coming up this summer. Can you just talk about your excitement for that? And then there's this new like international flow of players coming in. Do you feel like you're part of that, being Canadian, or is it like not separate enough from like USA basketball?
Yeah, I'm super excited for Team Canada. Get to play with a lot of guys I grew up with. Get to play real games in the summer. That's always fun. Play for my country. Try to do something that's never been done before. Yeah, it'll be super fun. And then that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm international, but like I'm down the street, so I don't really know. I don't know. I guess on paper I'm international, but it doesn't feel like it.
It's been a few years since you've been in the playoffs, and you've improved a lot since the last time that you were in the playoffs. What was it like in the waiting time, in the preparation for it, and then what did it feel like to actually be in the playoffs for you?
The waiting was stressful. It sucked. But all I could do was make sure I was prepared once the moment came, and that's what I tried to do and tried to focus on. The moment being here felt really good. There's nothing like it. It's hard to emulate, hard to replicate. It's what everything goes into it. Your off season, the whole 82-game season, you playing basketball as a kid when you're 10 years old, like everything goes into playoff time and trying to win a championship. And the feeling, like being in just the opportunity to try to get that done was like an honor and a really good feeling.
I was going to say, do you get the feeling that this group has like the capacity to win a championship, like what you guys have now?
I feel like we can do anything we want to do. I feel like if you knew me 15 years ago and I told you I was going to be who I am today, you'd laugh at me. If I told somebody this time last year that we'd be the #1 team in the West at the end of the 82 season, they'd laugh at me. I think it's just myself, but I always think you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to put the work in, and if you put the work in and deserve it, you'll get it. So if we put enough work in, do the right things, stay together on and off the court, play the right type of basketball, and do what it takes to win a championship, we'll earn and we'll get a championship. But if we don't do that, we won't get it. It's that simple.
Sure, you keep referencing who we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like who were you then? And where were you then?
Yeah. Back home in Hamilton, got cut from a couple teams. Wasn't really that good. I barely played on my 9th grade AAU team, and I was telling guys I'm going to NBA. That doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I just always had this feeling. Yeah.
Sorry.
Two more. Go ahead.
So everybody talk highly about your leadership, but what kind of leader do you think you are, and what kind of leader you want to be?
Yeah, I try to lead by example. I've always, I just felt like that's the most natural way for me to lead. I can't ask my teammates to do something that I physically won't do myself. I can't ask them to sacrifice if I won't sacrifice myself. And I feel like that's, just through my experiences in life, I get the most respect out of people when they take action, as opposed to words. So I just feel like that's the most natural and effective way to lead.
About you being in 9th grade, you said you were going to be in the NBA, and they were laughing like, yeah, right, whatever. What did you know about yourself that they didn't?
How bad I wanted it. Yeah, how motivated I was. I kind of mentioned this yesterday. When I fail and lose, is when I'm most motivated, and I think getting cut kind of kick-started that, and that was around that period of time. So, of course.